Dean, this kid is causing trouble on purpose. Young man, can you put Director Wang down first? Okay. Guan Ming let go, and Director Wang fell to the ground in an extremely embarrassed state. The security guards also stepped aside knowingly. Guan Ming turned around and saw the so-called Dean, and couldn't help but laugh on the spot. If everyone has seen Master Xing's Variety Star King, they must remember the ridiculous hairstyle of Dr. B in it. Yes, it's so similar. Young man, do you think the old man's hairstyle is very handsome? The Dean smoothed his hair coquettishly, seeming very satisfied with his hairstyle. I can't help but give you a thumbs up. You're really handsome. Guan Ming gave a thumbs up. Well, not only the hairstyle is equally ridiculous, but also the funny personality. Young man, you have good taste? The Dean seemed not to hear the implication. He nodded with satisfaction. Then he looked at Director Wang with a straight face and said, Wang Yuan, what's going on? Dean, this guy said he could cure Mr. Bai's illness. He insisted on going in. I asked the security guard to stop him. Not only did he not listen, he even attacked me. Wang Yuan stared at Guan Ming fiercely, and he was surrounded by he attracted a lot of nurses and patients who were watching the excitement, and he was really embarrassed this time. Oh? The Dean looked at Guan Ming with surprise. You said you can cure Mr. Bai's disease? What's the basis for it? The old man you sent in just now, if I read it correctly, should have poured blood in Qi caused by blocked blood vessels. It's like a breath is blocked in the throat and cannot come out. If he is held in for a long time, he will be killed alive. Suffocate yourself to death. This was naturally what Mr. Gu told Guan Ming. Then how to treat it? The Dean was obviously interested. This requires the skills of our ancestors. First use acupuncture to stimulate the acupoints to dredge their blood vessels, and then release the blocked congestion. Later, they can be restored with careful care. If it is purely based on high technology, you should still let those the old man's family should prepare for the funeral. Guan Ming said very confidently, without any dodge under the Dean's gaze. You actually know acupuncture? The Dean was obviously surprised. Know a thing or two. Okay, let me give you a try. Come in with me. The Dean nodded and greeted Guan Ming. Dean, how could you let a stranger? Shut up, are you the Dean or am I the Dean? The Dean glared at Wang Yuan, who finally became honest. Following the Dean into the ward, the doctors inside were puzzled when they saw a young man brought in by the Dean. The Dean also briefly introduced him, but they were unanimously dissuaded by the doctors. You can do it, come on. The Dean's words left everyone speechless. Young man, the rest is up to you. By the way, I haven't introduced myself yet. Old man Ding Yan, what do you call me, young man? Ding Yan briefly introduced himself. Guan Ming, let's wait until we finish treating the patient. Guan Ming took out the silver needle from his body. The doctors looked at each other, wondering if this young man really had any skills. Brother, can you really cure my grandpa? The girl who had been staying by the old man's side looked up and asked with tears in her eyes. It's nothing. Stop crying. Go aside. Brother, I will give you a healthy grandpa later. Guan Ming scratched the girl's nose with his hand. The intimate gesture made the girl's face turn slightly red and she retreated. To the side. Gu Lao, what should I do next? Guan Ming picked up a silver needle and asked Gu Lao in his mind. Take off his shirt, then insert silver needles into the 3 points of Tonggu, Shimen, and Ryu at the same time, and then insert the silver needle into the 4 points of Daimai, Zhongting, Shuetu, and Tianshu in sequence, and then use the true energy to enter from the chi point, breaking through the blocked meridians and acupuncture points in one fell swoop. At this time, Mr. Gu also became serious. You too, take off this old man's shirt. Guan Ming casually pointed at the two of them. The two looked at Ding Yan. Ding Yan nodded and immediately stepped forward to do the same. Although Bai Lao is old, his chest is still strong, and he is obviously an expert. Otherwise, even if he is exercising, it would be difficult for ordinary people to reach this point. Guan Ming picked up 2 silver needles again, and someone next to him whispered, "Don't he have to use 3 needles at the same time? Can he hit the right acupuncture point?" As soon as the man's voice fell, they saw Guan Ming start to move. Everyone saw him take action and stop. Bai Lao's body was already covered with Sanmei's silver needles. An experienced doctor could see that the acupoints were punctured very accurately. Moreover, the length of the insertion of the silver needle is just right. This can't be a coincidence. I can only say that this young man is the real deal. He picked up the silver needles one after another, and after inserting the other 4 acupoints according to Gu Lao's instructions, Guan Ming pointed his finger on Bai Lao's chi point, and the true energy poured in crazily, rushing along the meridians and acupoints. The 7 acupoints where the silver needle is inserted are blocked. The silver needle has the effect of entraining chi. The reason why the silver needle is inserted first is to assist the impact of true chi. A silver needle automatically came out of the acupuncture point because the acupuncture point had been opened, followed by the 2nd, 3rd, and until the 7th. At this time, Guan Ming felt a little dizzy and his eyes became blurry. "Lao Gu, what's going on?" Guan Ming was naturally a little anxious when this was the first time this happened. "Oh, I forgot to tell you, true energy is the foundation of a cultivator. Once it is depleted, it will cause a huge load on the body. Just now, half of the true energy in that girl's body has been gone, and now it has consumed more than half." "Well, you haven't even done it yet. Fainting shows that perseverance is better than ordinary people." Gu Lao's answer seemed very calm. "Master, you don't want to trick your disciples like this." Guan Ming's face instantly turned bitter. Seeing that the meridians and acupuncture points had been opened and the old man's face had returned to normal, Guan Ming hurriedly withdrew his hand. "There was congestion in the 7 acupuncture points just now. You can help release it." After saying that, Guan Ming closed his eyes and fainted. Saving someone who knocked himself unconscious, Guan Ming was unprecedented and unprecedented. On the other side, the news that Ding Hong was alive reached Tang Lin. The foreign wineglass Tang Lin was holding was crushed by him and he said word by word, "Guan Ming, it's you again." "Young master, what should we do next?" the servant on the side asked respectfully. If Ding Hong hadn't been betrayed this time, she wouldn't have been left alone. The Hong Club must have taken precautions. The plan was cancelled and the brothers were asked to withdraw. Those who went in left a top bag, and the rest were released on bail. "Wait until the limelight is over." Tang Lin was silent for 2 seconds before giving the order. "Yes." The man retreated, and a young and beautiful woman walked in. "Mr. Tang, what's wrong with you? What made you angry?" "It's nothing. By the way, you're the new secretary, right? What's your name?" Tang Lin became as elegant and warm as ever, looking at the woman in front of him and said, "My name is Qin Shui. Manager Zhang arranged for me to come here." Qin Shui put on her professional attire, adjusted the glasses on the bridge of her nose, and answered with a smile. "Qin Shui, Snow Lotus, a good name. Mr. Tang really knows how to joke." Public Security Bureau, Criminal Police Brigade, Captain Wang, who had just returned, took a sip of tea when his men broke in. "Captain Wang, those people have been recruited. Bring it here and let me take a look." Captain Wang took the report form, and his face turned extremely ugly the next moment. Bang! He slammed the report form on the table. Damn it, Ding Hong was chopped more than a dozen times, all by one person, and the rest were just watching the show. Tin Wang, the other party's lawyer, is here and wants bail. Tell him to take his men and get out. Captain Wang roared angrily, sat down on the office chair, and frowned. Tang Lin, you were so clever. Guan Ming didn't know how long he slept. Anyway, when he woke up, his head hurt like it was exploding. Not to mention, there were still people arguing in the room. "Old man, what's going on? Why did Guan Ming faint? You have to explain it clearly to me today, otherwise I won't be done with you." This voice was unusually familiar. "You damn girl, is this how you talk to your grandfather? I'm not as irresponsible as you, Grandpa. You're really pissing me off." As soon as Guan Ming opened his eyes, he saw Ding Yan blowing his beard and staring, while Ding Hong stared at Ding Yan with wide eyes. Guan Ming couldn't help but be startled. He didn't expect the two of them to have such a relationship. It's just that one is the director of the city hospital and the other is an eldest sister who has indeed entered the Red Society. They don't look like a family. Daughter-in-law, are you worried about me? Guan Ming said appropriately. Ding Hong turned around with a happy expression on her face, and soon she said with a straight face, "The devil is worried about you. If something happens to you, how will I settle accounts with you, a bastard?" As for Ding Yan, his eyes were wide open at this moment. He rushed over and grabbed Guan Ming's collar. "You brat, why did you fuck my granddaughter? She was soaked." "Dean, don't get excited." Guan Ming was sweating profusely. This didn't look like a family anymore. "Old man, what are you talking about?" Ding Hong stomped his foot and couldn't help but gasp because the wound was affected. "Since you're not dead, forget it. I'll settle the score with you later." After finishing speaking, he was helped by the people from the Red Society. And left. Ahem. "Dean, can you let me go first?" Guan Ming coughed dryly and quickly reminded him, but Ding Yan narrowed his eyes and tightened his grip. "What did you call me?" "Grandfather." "Well, that sounds reasonable." Ding Yan then let go of Guan Ming and helped him straighten his collar. Guan Ming felt uncomfortable, and the old man's smile looked too shabby. "Xiao Ming, my granddaughter has the same moral character as her father. She has been disobedient since she was a child, so she became a female gangster like her father. You have to be more tolerant in the future. If she hits you, just give in. If it doesn't work, just run away, do you understand?" Ding Yan started chattering, and Guan Ming became more and more uncomfortable. "Dean, Ding Hong, and I just..." "Yes." Ding Yan's face was serious. "I understand that young people are shy. Old man, I am also someone who has been around your age. Hey, our Ding family has been studying medicine for generations. I didn't expect that it would end when I came here. But there are you, my grandson-in-law, can be considered a successor to my old Ding family." Guan Ming has already slapped himself several times for his big mouth. Why is this mouth so mean? This is a big joke. "Brother, you're awake." A ringing voice came, and the little girl from before ran in with a smile. As if he had seen a savior, Guan Ming hurriedly asked, "How is your grandfather?" "Grandpa is getting much better. Do you want to thank you personally?" The girl wrinkled her nose and looked very cute. Although the girl is only 15 or 16 years old, she has already begun to take shape. When she grows up, she will definitely become an amazing little fairy. And more importantly, she still has a childlike heart and is definitely the best little loli. That's it. By the way, girl, what's your name?" Guan Ming asked as he scratched the girl's nose. "My name is Bai Yuer. Brother, don't scratch other people's noses." Bai Yuer blushed and took a step back. Guan Ming couldn't help but smile. This scene happened to be seen by the couple who were supporting Mr. Bai. The middle-aged man couldn't help but frown and said, "Yuer, Divine Dr. Guan has just woken up. Don't disturb him." "I know." Bai Yuer responded and ran over to support Bai Lao, Grandpa, Mom and Dad. "Dr. Guan, you saved my father this time. I really don't know how to thank you." The middle-aged man was wearing a decent suit and his hair was neat. He looked like a powerful figure in the shopping mall. "It's just a piece of cake, you're welcome." Guan Ming waved his hand, slandering in his mind, "Why don't you just hand over the money? This is a new idea, please accept it from Divine Dr. Guan." The middle-aged man took out a check and walked over and handed it to Guan Ming, who accepted it happily. A total of 500,000. Although it was not as good as the jade ring, Guan Ming felt it was worth it. After all, it was the price of 4 sets of medicinal materials. "Little friend, thanks to you this time, I have an old problem that has never been cured. By the way, I forgot to introduce myself. Bai Yunfei, this is my son Tianjue, and this is my daughter-in-law Gong Meiling." Bai Yunfei stepped forward and said politely. Seeing Guan Ming staring at his jade ring, he smiled and took it off. "I have been wearing this jade ring for 10 years. It has a certain effect on improving my practice. I will give it to my little friend. Old man, I can't help it. How could I accept such an expensive gift? He said this, but he took it dishonestly. Garbage. Mr. Goo's voice suddenly sounded, it's okay to change it for some money. This kind of thing is dispensable to help with cultivation, and it's not as good as a pair of medicines from me. Bai Yunfei chuckled, I have reached the bottleneck now. If I give this finger to my little friend, it will be much more effective than in my old man's hands. Despite this, Guan Ming still saw the reluctance in Bai Yunfei's eyes. After all, he had been with him for 10 years, so Guan Ming handed the finger back. Old man, thank you for your kindness, but this thing won't be of much help to me. Why don't you give me something practical? Guan Ming has already made it very obvious, as long as you have money. Ha ha ha. You're so interesting, little friend. Bai Yunfei laughed and took the jade ring, while Bai Tianjue wrote another check for 1 million to Guan Ming. It's still cute. Guan Ming put the check to his mouth and kissed it. A look of disdain flashed through Bai Tianjue's eyes. A small amount of money would make him like this. If it weren't for saving his father, he wouldn't even want to say a word to people like Guan Ming. Dad, you have just recovered. You need to pay attention to your recovery. Let's not disturb Dr. Guan's rest. Bai Tianjue said with concern. Bai Yunfei couldn't help but go against his son's wishes, and said hello to Guan Ming and Ding Yan respectively and left. Goodbye, big brother. Goodbye. Guan Ming shrugged, how could Tianjue's eyes escape his eyes? After leaving the ward, Bai Yunfei looked at his son, Zhuer, you've always been very accurate in reading people, but this time, you really made a mistake. Dad, why do you say that? This miraculous doctor has already achieved great medical skills at a young age. He must have an expert's guidance behind him, and he has a straightforward personality. He must be a dragon among people. Bai Yunfei affirmed. Tian Tianjue was speechless. He was interested in Guan Ming at first, but when he saw Guan Ming's intimate actions with his daughter, and Guan Ming's love for money, he couldn't help but show contempt. You think you can escape his eyes with your little look, but you didn't see divine Dr. Guan shrug his shoulders. It's not that he didn't see it, it's that he doesn't care what outsiders say, hey. Bai Yunfei sighed and looked at him. He walked forward, leaving Bai Tianjue alone in a daze. Perhaps. I really misjudged the wrong person this time. Brother Ming, it's so late. I can't go back to the dormitory today. Lin Feng had been kept aside and only now did he have the chance to speak. Let's stay outside today. That hospital, Grandpa, let's go first. Guan Ming got off the hospital bed. He had recovered a lot after a good sleep, and he didn't want to stay here. Well, I'll go home with Xiaohong for a meal when I have time. Ding Yan didn't stop him and allowed the two of them to leave. Lin Feng followed Guan Ming, but he still didn't realize it until now. Guan Ming had given him too many surprises. First, he easily eliminated the gangsters in the snack street and saved Ding Hong, and then he saved someone in the hospital and got 1.5 million. Reward, this may be something that others cannot achieve in their lifetime, but it happened to Guan Ming within a few hours. This man is very mysterious. This was Lin Feng's first instinct, but what he didn't know was that the moment he lifted the stool, Guan Ming had already recognized him as his brother. Well, we must fire him, let's see if he dares to flirt with women in the future. Shi Wanner said while holding her little pink fist. Sister Wanner, I went to inquire about it yesterday. It turns out that the woman's name is Ding Hong. She is the eldest sister of the Red Society. He has only known each other for a day. The two have nothing to do with each other. Yesterday, he just wanted to deliberately anger you. Yes, but if you fired the pervert, that doesn't mean you gave Ding Hong a chance, but it's none of our business, right? Tan Lulu smiled a little at this time. Sure enough, the next moment Shi Wanner strangled Tan Lulu's neck. You damn girl, why didn't you tell me earlier? You were the one who said you wanted to fire him first. Tan Lulu rolled her eyes. No, it's too easy to fire him. Why does he have to be my shield? Well, doesn't he like money? I'll give him money. Shi Wan'er let go of Tan Lulu and held her chin in her hand. Wow! Tan Lulu widened her eyes exaggeratedly. Sister Wan'er, are you trying to keep a pretty boy? Why don't you die? Shi Wan'er glared at Tan Lulu angrily. However, the big pervert is actually quite handsome, but I don't know if his kidneys are strong enough to withstand Sister Wan'er's ravages. Tan Lulu said with a sly smile. I will throw you on his bed tonight and let you try it first. Shi Wan'er threatened. Okay, if Sister Wan'er isn't jealous. Unexpectedly, Tan Lulu nodded seriously, and Shi Wan'er was defeated on the spot. A peaceful day passed, and at night, Guan Ming told Lin Feng that he was going to take a medicinal bath and not to disturb himself, and then entered the bathroom with ground medicinal powder. This is an aristocratic school, so the bathroom is naturally very large. A bathtub doesn't take up much space at all, and there is always plenty of hot water. Guan Ming first filled it with water, and then put in the medicinal powder. The water quickly turned turquoise. The water temperature was at 60 degrees according to Gu Lao's instructions, so he would not be burned. After Guan Ming took off his clothes, he went in and sat cross-legged, so that everything from the neck down was submerged. Xiaomingzi used the Emperor Tianxinju to absorb the properties of these medicines. I am telling you some of the special features of the Emperor Tianxinju. Gu Lao's voice sounded, and Guan Ming immediately followed the instructions. Since ancient times, cultivation has been divided into two categories. One is body training, and the other is qi refining. Monks who practice body training have strong bodies. If they reach a certain level, they will not be bombarded by the cannons of your world. Injure him at all. Gu Lao's voice continued to ring in Guan Ming's consciousness. Guan Ming was shocked. With the development of science and technology, thermal weapons are now becoming more and more powerful. They are still unharmed after being bombarded from the front. Cultivators are really awesome. If you are a warrior, even if you are in the innate realm, being hit by a cannon from the front will be enough. Lao Gu, what about refining qi? Guan Ming asked. The so-called refining qi is like the internal strength that you warriors cultivate. The stronger the internal strength, the higher the strength. But relatively speaking, the physical body is relatively weak. Once the body is damaged, the strength will be greatly reduced. However, the physical training monks can resist the opponent head-on. Head-on attack. Then according to what you say, aren't body training monks much more powerful than qi refining monks? No. The strength of a cultivator is closely related to the magic weapon skills. Of course, the method of cultivation is also very important. 100 years ago, there were two unparalleled geniuses in the world of cultivation. One specialized in qi cultivation, and the other practiced physical training. The two had a duel, and the body-forging monk was broken by the qi-refining monk's sword, and he fell with one move. Why do I get more and more confused the more I listen? Actually, in the same realm, no matter whether you are training your body or your qi, as long as you can win, others will think that you are the most powerful in training, but they don't know that each has its own advantages. Gu Lao explained with a smile. Gu Lao, which kind of cultivation do I belong to? Guan Ming couldn't wait to know.